All right, the results are in. You're probably like, what are you talking about, Denise? Well, if you didn't know, I actually recently polled everybody on my wonderful email list as well as everybody in my Facebook group, asking just kind of a few simple questions because obviously your feedback and your knowledge and your wisdom is really important to me. I want to know how you feel about certain things. I want to know how you define certain things because in knowing that, it better supports me in serving you with content that matters, in using your words and the things that you say to be able to connect with you on a much deeper level. And the one thing that I found was extremely frustrating, not frustrating at all, that I found was extremely fascinating. It was an F word. I just used the wrong one. Was I asked the question, what do you consider the female version of the midlife crisis? Because I don't know about you, but when I think of the word midlife crisis, I immediately think of a man buying a Corvette or, all of these things, buying a motorcycle. And I always attribute the midlife crisis to a man. And I mean, as women, obviously, we have something very similar that happens to us, but I think it looks just a little bit different. And I don't think that we quite, as women, connect to that term midlife crisis. So I polled everybody and I gave a number of different options. And there were two that really stood out. The first one, and the one that really hits home with me, was emotional exhaustion. And that came in at, I would say, about 35% across the board. 35% of you felt that emotional exhaustion was really what captured the female or the more feminine version. And when I say feminine, this can very much relate to a man as well, because I'm sure men might actually connect with emotional exhaustion as well too. And the second one that really stood out was feeling stuck in a rut. Now I had a feeling that one was going to be up there. Feeling stuck in a rut came in at about 25%. Is that correct? Yes, 25%. I'm looking at my statistics over here. And I knew that was the case as well because I know that's how I felt. And I mean, that happened to me before I was even in midlife. But I mean, what is midlife nowadays anyway? For crying out loud, we could live to be 100 and something at this point. So is midlife 50? Is it 40? Is it 35? It could be anyone. It's really individual. But feeling stuck in a rut was the one that I really was using and categorizing when I ventured into my own therapeutic journey, when I really felt like I needed counseling because I just felt like I was completely stuck. But I think it's like a unique blend of the two. It's this feeling of emotional exhaustion, like you have used every last bit of your energy catering to everybody else. It could be your kids, it could be your job, it could be, the people around you. And it's not only just physically exhausting, but it's emotionally exhausting because you're not tending to your own needs. You're not tending to the things that bring you joy. You're not focused in or zeroing in on what your passions are. You probably don't even know the answer to what is it that you really want. If I sit here and ask you, what is it you want? You're probably going to tell me, I don't really know because I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. I can't even begin to think about myself. And that's often going to happen as you kind of reach this point in your life where you're beginning to question everything. You're questioning your values. You're questioning if everything you've ever learned is right. You're questioning whether or not anything is right. And then you're starting to wonder, is this all there is? But then this emotional exhaustion comes in and you're like, I don't have the energy to do anything. I don't even have the energy to change anything because I just feel like I can't do it and I really don't know where to start. And that gets you stuck in a rut. So I feel like the two of them really kind of tie into each other. The emotional exhaustion leads to feeling stuck in a rut, which is by definition, according to all of you, the more feminine version of the midlife crisis. And I feel like that's really important information to have, especially for you if you didn't have a chance to participate in the survey, but you're watching this and you're thinking, man, she hit the nail right on the head. That's exactly how I feel. And when you're in that place, it's hard to see any way out. It's hard to think that there could be a light at the end of the tunnel. And that just brings you down this freaking spiral. Am I right? Let me know if you agree with this. You just feel like you're going down into a spiral and you can't even find a way out and you don't even know what the first step is. And so many of my clients come to me and they're like, I don't even know what the first step is. I'm just tired and I don't even know who I am. I don't even know what the definition of me is. I don't know who I am outside of wife, mother, colleague, friend, daughter. I'm all these labels, but who am I? And that becomes the big question. And I think that's kind of what happens at this point in our life is who am I? What do I stand for? What is it I want? What are my standards? And that's kind of the beautiful thing about what happens in this journey that I take with my clients. And it's very much a journey that's together, collaborative, that we sort of start to tap into that and we discover it. And it's really a beautiful rediscovery process that ultimately leads to this incredible empowerment. And that's the one thing when people ask me, what's the outcome of working with Denise? What is the outcome of working with you? What am I going to get at the end of it? And it's truly empowerment. You are stepping into your own personal power. You are taking your control back. You are, getting through this emotional exhaustion, and you're finding joy again. And most importantly, you're finding yourself in all of this, because at this point you put yourself on the back burner so much that you don't even know who you are, and it's exhausting. And I want that to stop. I want to stop right here, right now. So thank you again for participating in the survey, and thank you for giving me your thoughts, because that really supports me in supporting you. And that's really all I want to do at the end of the day. So if you are emotionally exhausted, if you are feeling like you are stuck in a rut and you do not know the first step to take, and you're feeling like this is it, I got to do something, and you're watching this and you're nodding your head like this, or like this is it. I want you to reach out to me. I know I've shared this with you many, many times. I do offer a free 30-minute call with me just to jump on the virtual line and connect and see if my services might be a good fit for you, if it might be the exact thing that you've been looking for and the exact thing you need to start propelling you forward, so you can stop feeling emotionally exhausted, stop feeling stuck in a rut, and rediscover who you are at your truest essence. So if that sounds like something that is good for you, message me, send me a carrier pigeon, whatever it is, reach out, put a hand up in the comments, put a hand emoji, and I will reach out to you if you're feeling a bit nervous. But don't be afraid. We got to start somewhere, and I'm going to meet you right where you're at. But with that, I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're abundant. And of course, make it a great day. Make it a great day. Make it a great day. This is my emotional exhaustion dance. We want to get you here. Make it a great day. This is where I want you to be. And wherever you are in your journey, it's okay. Let's get to it.